Walk Good LA to me is such a wonderful project. It's one of those things created by my niece, my son, my daughter, and it's where after the killing of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna, healing was needed. And they all came together and they created a space for people, regardless of race, regardless of sex, regardless of age, to come together to heal around yoga, around meditation, around wellness, around conversation, around social justice, because with all of that, they took to the streets as well. And I was like, wow. First of all, I was so proud, but I was so amazed that they could respond so quickly, so organically, and so naturally with what was needed by people in LA at that time. The summer of 2020, the birth of WalkGoodLA. Yeah, you see the wind of change? That's what it felt like for me. Just like that.
This is WalkGoodLA. We are a family that brings people from all walks of life together to fight and heal in solidarity through the arts, health, and wellness. And over there? Yeah, that's me, teaching yoga to over 200 people at LA High Memorial Park, majority of which are people of color. I've been practicing yoga for almost 5 years, and never have I ever seen this many Black people do yoga in a park before. Matter of fact, I've never seen this many Black people do yoga at all, anywhere, before. So you're probably wondering, how did this happen? And I wish this wasn't the case time and time again, but the answer is pretty straightforward. Racism.
Hand up there. Put your hand up there. Hands on the wheel. Hands on the wheel.
This partial body camera video obtained by the Daily Mail showing former officer Thomas Lane pointing a gun at George Floyd within 25 seconds of he and former officer J. Alexander King knocking on the window of the car Floyd was in.
This cell phone video captures the final moments of Ahmaud Arbery's life while he was jogging through this Brunswick, Georgia neighborhood in February. Arbery was confronted by Gregory McMichael and his son Travis, who shot Arbery twice with a shotgun before the 25-year-old collapsed and died.
Newly released video shows the aftermath of the police killing of Breonna Taylor in Louisville nearly 4 months ago. Officers conducting a drug raid burst into Taylor's home and shot her 8 times.
Yeah, you got 2 doors open to your right. Okay, we are. They will kill me, man.
This is a coordinated activity happening across this nation. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency. We cannot look at this as an isolated incident. The reason why buildings are burning are not just for our brother George Floyd. They're burning down because people here in Minnesota are saying to people in New York, to people in California, to people in Memphis, to people all across this nation, enough is enough. And we are not responsible for the mental illness that has been inflicted upon our our people by the American government, institutions, and those people who are in positions of power. I don't give a damn if they burn down Target, because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the justice that our people deserve. Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged, and there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops.
Keep on talking, marching in the freedom land. Ain't gonna let LAPD turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let LAPD turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching in the freedom land.
I know it's Sunday, but how we feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling? There we go. Much better, much better. What's going on, y'all? My name's Etienne Maurice, founder of WalkGoodLA, and I'm so happy to have you here on a lovely Sunday morning as we get together and we go through this flow. You know, I just learned what like flow was. Like I thought that was like a little like slang, but like it's an actual thing for yoga terms. So shout out to Molly for teaching me. Wow, today is another day. We are alive. We are here. We're here together in solidarity. I started Walk Good, Breathe Good with my lovely cousin Marley Ralph to make sure that not only we fight together, but we heal together as well.
So I started Walk Good LA right after I found out about the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. I literally watched on social media this young black man who looked like me running in his neighborhood in Georgia and saw him fight for his life after being shot and killed by two white men who thought he was robbing a undeveloped house in his neighborhood. And I remember being upset, being angry, because I was reminded that this is still going on and that young black men and women are being killed just for the color of their skin. And, you know, me as a runner, as a new yogi, I figured, why not bring a community together to stay activated through health and wellness?
While WalkGoodLA has activated a community of color through yoga and activism, the roots of this work goes way back to the arrival of who is considered to be the first yogi of the West, Paramahansa Yogananda. Yogananda was asked to hold lectures about his findings in yoga by President Calvin Coolidge in 1927. When he was told that only white people would be allowed to attend, Yogananda took matters into his own hands and went against the president's wishes. He then founded the Afro-American Yoga Association, where he exposed African Americans to the healing powers of yogic traditions. This is proof that yoga can go hand in hand with social justice if given the space to do so.
I personally am super interested in like, what were the sermons like when Paramahansa Yogananda was preaching to an all-black audience, right? In the Afro-American Self-Realization Fellowship, what were those sermons like? Because he was a real guy. 100% real, like honest, open. So I mean, the conversations that were about like, hey, so I know we have to have this thing where we're all here alone, so we got to talk about that, right? So we had to talk about, in my opinion, white supremacy. We have to have this separate thing. So obviously we have to acknowledge that there's people out in the general society who do not even see you as human, who are able to murder you with impunity. How do you deal with that? How does that manifest in yoga? How many yoga classes you go to where they talk about that? Having to deal with people that can kill you and a state-sponsored terrorist machine. that lynches people like you. And I have no doubt that those are things that Paramahansa Yogananda would talk about and probably did talk about in those spaces.
Fast forward to today, nearly a year since the footage of George Floyd reignited the fight against social injustice, and we are still exposed to police violence every single day. While this lack of respect for human life is exhausting, our caring communities continue to grow in size and spirit. Our empathy expands when we honor the lives we have lost to racism and police brutality, but our resilient hearts strengthen through healing movement and yogic consciousness. Every day above ground is a good day, and as long as WalkGoodLA is around, we will make sure people always have a safe space to breathe good.